During this lecture, we're going to take a look at the art of animation, or what I'm going to call the delicate art of animation. I love animation in all of its various forms. I studied animation and media arts at the Art Institute in San Francisco. I wanted to become an animator. So here I am now talking to you about PowerPoint, and I'm going to throw a little bit of animation in here. So here's 3 things that I want you to think about as you apply animation to your PowerPoint presentations. Here's the first one. Keep it simple. As simple as possible. Make it subtle. Allow the animation to enhance the presentation, and definitely not to detract from the presentation or to make your audience sick with all the movement that's happening on the screen. Use it in a limited fashion. Don't overdo the use of animation. The moment that we start getting everything moving on the screen, the audience isn't going to know where to look, and they're going to start to become distracted by all the movement and lose that focus on you, the presenter. We need to keep it simple so that we don't distract the audience. I've said this several times, but we can't reiterate it enough. Keep it simple. Use it limited. Don't detract from the audience. Ultimately, the animation that you apply to your presentations should engage the audience. It should lead the audience. They should stay connected between you and the audience. I want that open stream of communication. I want that connection as we're going through this presentation. And animation is one of the best ways to do so. It's through movement that we can capture the user's attention, that we can lead our audience into our discussion. Use the animation to enhance and to lead and to engage. So let's take a look at how this works. How can we use animation to engage our audience and create those impactful presentations? So I've opened up one of the exercise files that comes along with this course. It's called Animating Bullets exercise. You're going to see this as part of the next exercise after this lecture here. And you're going to accomplish much the same thing that I'm about to do here. What I like to do is take this bullet list, 4 little bullet points here, and animate them. But I don't want them just zipping around on the screen or flying in kind of willy-nilly and really not adding anything to the presentation. But I want to animate them in such a way that it will engage and direct or lead the audience, at the same time keeping them connected with you, the presenter. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to apply 2 animation effects to this bullet list. A fade to bring the bullets in, and a transparency effect to subtly remove a bullet out of the equation. I want to be able to lead the audience. Say, hey, first thing we're going to talk about is utilizing bullets to reinforce your message, and we'll fade that bullet in. Now, before we move on to the next bullet, keep the bullet simple, I want to slightly fade out or slightly transparency the prior bullet, kind of put it into the background. It's still there, it's still in the back of our minds, but we're now moving on to the next bullet, and I'll fade the next one in. So 2 effects here. I'll apply these 2 effects, and then you're going to see that we're going to need to go in and reorder the animation effects. So let's try it out. I'm going to go ahead and select the bullets, or really I'm just going to select the box, the text box that these bullets are within. With that selected, I'm going to go up to my Animations tab there at the top of my screen. With the Animations tab active, I'm going to turn on the Fade animation. It's just slightly to the left of my Animations tab. So I've now applied a fade to those 4 bullet points that are on my screen. And I can see that they got numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's just the order that the animations will take effect. Now that's one side of it. But remember, I want to add a secondary animation to turn them transparent once I'm done talking about each respective bullet. To do this, I'm going to go over to the Add Animation button. I'll give that a click. And from here, I'm going to add the transparency animation. So now I've got two sets of animations applied here, a fade to bring them in and a transparent effect to kind of put them to the background, not completely fading them away, but turning them semi-transparent. But there's one extra step that I need to accomplish here. Right now, the animations just run in order. 1, 2, 3, 4, that's going to fade in, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, they'll turn transparent. So now, back up to the Animations tab, I'm going to turn on the Animation pane. The Animation pane is where you're going to go to change the order of the animation, among other things. But now, with the Animation pane open, I'm going to expand these animation sets. The green ones represent the fades. The yellow ones represent the transparency animation. So now, all I'm going to do here is reorder the animations. I want it to go fade to transparent, back and forth through this cycle. So I'm going to grab number 5 here, which is the transparency for use bullets to reinforce your message. I'll select that, left click, and just drag it up to where I want it to be. And I'm just going to do the same thing, just re-dragging the transparency effect so we get a pattern now that becomes fade in, transparent, and so on. It's as simple as that. I've applied 2 animation effects here and now just reordering them to get what I want out of this. Try this out. In the next exercise, the next lecture, you're going to open up this file here and you're going to apply the same animation effects to this list. And now we can watch this run the animation. I'll go ahead and hit the run button now. Here's our slide, and if I click the mouse button, I get something to fade in. I hit the mouse button again, I fade it out or turn it transparent. Mouse button again, it fades in, fades out, fades in, fades out, and so on. We've now created a much more engaging and a way for us to lead the audience.